this video, I put Magicka's dancing shoes on my Psijic Sorc vampire. We visit Delve and a public dungeon. We look at the build I made in close detail. And I'll share my opinion about the mythic. Let's get started. Well, hello there. My name is sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Today, I wanted to talk more about a mythic item, the one that arrived to us with Seasons of the Worm Cult Part 1, and was lightly overlooked due to the drama related to the Caesar Wall. I showed you how to claim this mythic item last week. Magicka's dancing shoes is a fun mythic that, according to its name, brings a touch of insanity to ESO. When wearing this mythic, roll dodging in combat will bring forth a random effect, one of 7 possibilities. The trick time for this item is 3 seconds only, which is highly convenient. Now, let's move on to our victim. ErzieB, the ever-changing, is my Psijic Sorc vampire. She's been with me for a very long time and has lately become my go-to character. ErzieB is my antiquarian, my decorator, my part-time healer. I have unlocked all of the skill lands I enjoy using in my PvE builds, so playing with this tall outmare is easy and fun. For this build, I have chosen to go PureClass and go without scribed abilities. I have taken ErzieB to a delve to test our strength against a tiny boss. Let's see what happened. To stay true to the nature of my mythic, I took ErzieB to Sheogorath's Tongue, a delve in Stonefalls. During our run to the boss, I got to test out my rotation. With Magicka's dancing shoes, roll dodging plays an important role. I tried my darndest to weave a roll dodge in with my light and heavy attacks, and that most certainly kept both my fingers and my brain busy. With small enemies, I didn't have much time to cast abilities, but with the boss, well, I got all the way through my rotation. Once. No ultimate needed. At this point, I am quite pleased with Magicka's dancing shoes, as this mythic does bring a new aspect to gameplay. Before we get started with the build I made, here's sponsor Heather. Well, hello there. My name is Heather Wielding, and alright, I am here to interrupt your video to remind you of these two. Jay and Darren are stories of modern-day vampires, and since we share a fascination toward blood-sucking monsters, I thought you might be interested in these. Jay and Darren are available through Books to Read, Amazon, and Google Play Bookstore. And now, back to the video. So, ErzieB is a high elf. I have all of our attribute points on Magicka, and we are walking under the Lover Boon to maximize physical spell penetration. I play as a stage 4 vampire, and for this build, I would recommend adopting the curse. It adds an extra boost to both challenge and madness, and then 2 champion points. In warfare, my active stars are Fighting Finesse, Weapons Expert, Wrathful Strikes, and Untamed Aggression. In fitness, I have gone with my usual siphoning spells, Rejuvenation, Fortified, and Boundless Vitality. And in crafts, I have my fishing setup. Do choose the craft stars that make playing fun for you. I have unlocked Glass Mastery for ErzieB. For my passives here, I have chosen Font of Power to maximize weapon and spell damage, and Static Reverb to get a bit more shock damage. Now, let's move on to abilities. I have given ErzieB 2 staff weapons, a Resto and a Destro staff. First, on our backup weapon, which is a Resto staff, we have Critical Surge. This grants you Major Brutality and Sorcery, which give a boost to weapon and spell damage. And while Critical Surge is active, dealing critical damage heals you for a bit. This is an excellent passive heal for a vampire. Next, I have Shattering Spines. This summons Daedric Shards to immobilize enemies for a short time. After being released, trapped enemies take a set amount of magic damage. This also afflicts enemies with minor maim, which reduces their damage done. Then we come to my emergency heal. Radiating Regen restores lost health for ErzieB and up to 3 allies. This is a pretty basic heal, but it gets the job done. Next, I have Volcanic Rune. This paints a rune under enemies. After 2 seconds, the rune triggers to send enemies flying, stun them for a short time, and also deal a set amount of flame damage. This major skill ability also triggers this major skill passive, which grants you Empower for 10 seconds. Joy. Last on this staff, I have Channeled Acceleration. This Psijic order ability grants you Minor Expedition for 12 seconds, thus making you faster, and Minor Force for a full minute. Minor Force gives a 10% boost to critical damage. More is more. Let's switch weapons then. ErzieB's main weapon is a lightning staff. First, we have Crushing Shock. This deals all sorts of damage to a single enemy. If that enemy happens to be casting when hit, they are interrupted, set off balance and stunned. I use this fun ability as a spammer. Next, I have Unstable Wall of Elements. This creates an unstable barrier in front of ErzieB. Enemies standing in it take a set amount of shock damage over 10 seconds, and even more as the barrier explodes as the effect ends. This also sets concussed enemies off balance. Moving on, we come to Lightning Flood. This creates a nexus of storm energy at a target location. Enemies within reach take a set amount of shock damage over 10 seconds. Lightning Flood comes with a synergy you can activate yourself. Using the conduit synergy deals a rather large amount of shock damage to enemies within reach, so if you see it, hit it. Then we have Shock Reach. This deals shock damage to a single enemy both instantly and over time, and also grants concussions. This works well with Wall of Elements, just be sure to cast this first and follow with the wall. Last on this staff, I have Blood Mist. This allows you to turn into red mist and to leap unseen at enemies. Blood Mist deals a set amount of magic damage to all enemies within reach and also heals you for a bit while the effect lasts. This triggers the Strike from Shadows passive, which gives a boost to weapon and spell damage when you leave invisibility, sneak or mist form, so be sure to unlock that. For our ultimate, I chose Shooting Star. This summons a comet to strike down at enemies with mighty force. The first strike deals a set amount of flame damage, knocks down enemies, and stuns them. After the initial impact, Shooting Star continues to deal flame damage in the target area for 13 more seconds. This also generates more ultimate for each enemy hit by the initial blast. So fun. And then passives. I have pretty much everything from everywhere, but I would recommend getting at least all the passives from active skill lines, all destruction and restoration stuff passives, everything from light armor, vampire, mage's guild, and racial skill and passives. Before we move on to sets, let's head on over to Sunhold to test our strength against an enemy a bit more challenging. Public dungeon bosses are the kind of enemies I aim to handle with ease, and these sorts of environments, I think, work best for experimental builds such as the ones I make for my vampires. I'm quite happy to see we got rid of this boss without any problems. Let's move on to gear then. I have given ErzieB one full 5-piece set, one not-so-full 5-piece set, Mad God's dancing shoes, and a monster set. First, I have a craftable set from High Isle. Order's Wrath adds to critical chance and weapon and spell damage. With a full set on, you get a boost to critical damage and critical healing. I have this covering both weapons and all jewelry slots. My main weapon is Nirnhound and enchanted to deal shock damage. My resto staff is infused and bears the same shock damage enchant. My jewelry is made with the Bloodthirsty trait and enchanted with the multi-effect enchant. For my second set, I chose another craftable set. Target Strike can be made in Westfield. It adds to weapon and spell damage. With a full set on, dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack grants you Major Berserk for 10 seconds, but I don't get to enjoy this perk due to set not being full. I made my pieces light and divine, and gave them the maximum Magicka enchantment. I have Target Strike covering chest, waist, hands, and legs. For our monster set, I chose Vampire. The helm drops from Naikaldish when you slay the last boss in Veteran. Shoulders can be purchased from undaunted vendors. Vampire adds to maximum health. With a full set on, a roll dodge related perk is unlocked. When you roll dodge in combat, a pool of blood is created under enemies. Those standing in it take magic damage and you gain a damage shield based on that amount of damage. This is a fun set that works really well with Uncle Sheo's dancing shoes. Which brings us to the shoes. While in combat, Mad God's dancing shoes grant you 1 of 7 perks when you perform a roll dodge. The options are various and not equally entertaining. A cheese wheel can appear under your enemies to deal a set amount of magic damage. Physical damage can be dealt to your enemies. Magic damage can be dealt to your nearest enemy. Major expedition can be granted to you. Stamina can be restored. The cost of your next non-ultimate ability can be reduced, and ultimate can be gained. This mythic only has a 3-second cooldown, so in theory, you could rely solely on rolling around during combat. Let's try that on a target dummy. Well, fun but not as effective as it could be. Maybe roll dodges should be woven in with light and heavy attacks. In conclusion, perhaps even in confusion, I would deem Mad God's dancing shoes as an interesting way to add a bit of madness to your adventure in Tamriel. This would probably maybe work better for a stamina character, someone who naturally uses roll dodge as a part of their combat strategy. As I was testing Mad God's dancing shoes for ESO, I had to add roll dodge to my rotation, which did make me feel clumsy and somehow out of place. Still, this mythic is a lot of fun, especially if you are the sort of person who enjoys cheese. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next time, I thought we might return to my Kashi Vampire. Thank you so much for watching and see you all later.